Good afternoon, everybody. As you can see, it's a little different here today at the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Gregg is not feeling well today, so he's missing this great show, but I'm sure he'll be watching from his bed. So I want to introduce you to the main man who the reason we're here today, which is Gerry Ferretti. Ferretti Films. Woo! And as you can see, there's a lot of people here at G's today. We are so excited. Thank you, Gregg, for always being so kind to us. And before we start anything, today is National Junk Food Day, National Hot Dog Day, and National Be Someone Day. So who do you want to be today, Gerry? Elvis?
Oh, not today. Not today.
So really, these days, I look them up every day, and it's just really something. So everybody have some junk food and eat a hot dog at least. And then be someone tonight when you go home that you want to fantasize about. Right. I also have Paul Latticano sitting next to me, another great guy that I've learned so much from since joining this film festival group. And a lot of other people that Gerry's going to introduce.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you take it over today.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, first of all, shout out to Gregg. Feel better, buddy. We miss you here today. And thank you again for letting us use your place. We filmed here with the Fontanas, so I want to thank you for that. But this is the cast of the Fontanas, a creation that I came up with about a year ago and brought to life with this amazing cast. And just want to say thank you to everybody for being a part of this, because it wouldn't happen without that, including you, Valentina.
I can't even believe what I've been doing lately, Gerry. You have changed me.
And we have another arriving guest here.
Look at the lady in red just got here.
Yes.
Beautiful, honey.
Squeeze you in, but I'll start by introducing everybody, okay? So the Fontanas is a story centered around four brothers. It's an Italian family, 3 generations, the grandparents, the 4 sons, and then the children. And it's centered basically around love and marriage and family and achieving your dreams, which a lot of things that I write have that central theme. And the 4 brothers are all here today. All the way, well, I'll start with the oldest.
It's always me.
In the story and in real life.
Not in real life. I'm much younger than all of you.
Paul Latticano, who is a filmmaker, actor in his own right that we met through the New York Long Island Film Festival. He plays Joe Jr. And next in line is Frank, played by Wendell Laurent, who we also met through the film festival, right. Very talented actor and filmmaker. And the next oldest, of course, is me, unfortunately. I play Freddie. And the youngest is Woody, played by Max DeMarchi, who I know through not the film festival, but through our Star Trek world. Yeah. So that's the brothers, and the last name of the family is actually Ferretti. Why we're called the Fontanas, you're going to have to watch the series to find out the answer to that. It was written originally as a screenplay and turned into a multi-episodic dramedy as the story unfolded, and we hope to finish these episodes and have it picked up by a streaming service. I mean, that's the goal. So anybody out there who knows anyone and wants to connect us with them, that's the goal. It's so far, it's coming out really, really fantastic, and we have a lot of high hopes for it. Some of the wives and ex-wives are also here. Behind me, Katie Schrader. This is Paul's wonderful wife. Notice they're not sitting together.
They're really not. They really fight a lot.
They do. They do. And then directly behind me, Angela Parker, who is Frank's wonderful wife.
And they fight a lot, too.
Yeah. Well, this is a true-to-life story. So, and my ex-wife in red.
The lady in red, yes. She's beautiful.
She gets
today.
in trouble, which is one of the reasons she's my ex-wife. That's Katrina Michio. And you, Woody, does not have an ex-wife. Woody has a bunch of different women, played by our friends
yes,
Cindy Savell and Michelle Asta.
And they both have talk shows as
Yes.
well. So you have quite a group
And
of
Paula.
wonderful,
Well, yeah.
wonderful women and men here.
And you
It's a
also,
great mix.
yeah, you also brought. Woody does have a girlfriend in it, which Lucia Love, who couldn't be here today.
Yeah,
and then
she's
of course
watching.
there's the children of the family. So we've got Paul and Charlene's daughter Jessica, played by Laura Gilchrist, who we met through. It's Love Bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Filmed together, so.
Right, George's film. And then we've got behind me the newest member of the cast, young Freddie.
Young Freddie.
This very talented young man, Matthew. And of course, let's not leave out the people behind the scenes, are very talented filmmakers, and I don't even know how to describe them. They're actors.
They're everything.
They're creative forces that try anything. They're known as the Casual Crew, and they came into this is Dominic, Aaron, and of course Ryan. And they came in. I mean, we worked together in the play Bridge the Gap and at South Shore Theater when you were just what?
Like that big.
Yeah, right. And he's come up. He brought a short film that they made to our second year of the New York Long Island Film Festival, and it was this little short film that I know you guys criticize, but there was a lot of good aspects in it, and it entered the film festival. And then they made another film last year that was longer and better and very interesting and very off the wall. A lot of crazy stuff going on. And now they just completed the sequel to that, and I just saw the trailer for it, and it's fantastic. How these young men have come up from just being guys that had an interest in this, and now they're all in school for it and they're studying. And when I saw what they were accomplishing, and I was looking for a crew for this, I said, those are the guys I want. And they did a terrific job.
And they are terrific, and they
Yeah.
also, me and my co-host, Gregg, are in one of their films. And this all just blossomed, and we became these very great people that are doing all these great things. And I brought some people in to meet you, and little by little, we're just growing and growing.
And then we have one more person who, if
What was,
Who?
who is it? Oh,
Joseph.
right, you said two.
Valentina.
Well, yeah, of course.
forget that.
I mentioned Valentine's. Believe me.
Got to
But-
mention it more than once.
Now,
show.
the person that I left, of course, for last, just because I like to tease him a little bit. Joseph Matalone,
Yes.
who plays Anthony,
And he's a
which
doll.
is Frank and Nora's son.
And he
ano-
loves
ano-
his
ano-
cell phone.
Yes, and a filmmaker, and in his own right, also a college student, which coincidentally, you guys know each other, and probably one of the biggest Godfather fans
Oh,
in the world, right?
definitely.
So, yeah.
Still haven't watched 2 yet.
You say-
Yeah, my mom was just talking to me about me on my phone on my way here.
Yeah, well, you're always on the phone. We always have to yell at you. Get off the
Which,
phone.
of course, played right into the character. So that's the cast pretty much as it stands right now, and terrific. Every single one of you guys just brought such a talent and a professionalism to this cast and to this production, and the fact that you all believe in it so much makes it even more possible to continue to create and write, and what you bring to each character. As I sit here and write and write and write, it's like there's so many different directions I can go in. So thank you all. Great job. So with that, of course, there's Valentina, who plays the mom.
I am the Italian mom who's
Yes.
turning 70 for real in 2 weeks, who's turning 70 for real in the Fontanas, which is really weird.
Yes. And that loving pain in the ass mom, like Marie Barone, only maybe worse.
Worse than Marie Barone. Okay.
You're like Marie Barone if she didn't cook.
Yeah. Well, this is true. And, it turned into such a glorious time. I'm having a ball, meeting all kinds of great people. And people think I'm a filmmaker now, which I'm not, but I get all these calls now. I have a script for you that someone gave me yesterday. I mean, it's like this is the nature of networking and what, as a community, we do at the Breakfast Club show with you. And look how it grew 3 years, right?
Right, and that's the best part of what we're doing, especially with the film festival, is how everybody comes together through it and networks, and there's so many collaborations aside from this that have come out of the New York Long Island Film Festival, and when I hear other filmmakers talking about that they're using this person that they met or they're working with that one that they met, it's the reason we do it. Film festivals, they're popping up like weeds.
Oh, and they're
So-
everywhere. The last 2 weeks, there were quite a few.
Right, and there's
Yeah.
very few that will actually open up a door to Hollywood. But it's all about networking and meeting more people that will, at least that's what I believe, that it will lead down that path. Because where there was a certain amount of people making films 20 years ago, there's now exponentially so many more people making films, but yet there's more avenues for it to go. And it's all about meeting people and networking and continuing and moving forward. So why don't we take a minute here and meet everybody?
Yeah, well, everybody knows me, okay?
Right?
Mom,
There
everybody.
you go, Mama Gina, Mama Tina, Mama Valentina, but really my name is Jackie
Jackie.
in the
yep.
movie, yes.
Now, people ask me, they say, why is the mother's name Jackie? Does anybody here know why I named her Jackie?
No.
Well, again, it's based loosely on my family, and I always, growing up, I used to call my mother Jackie Stallone, because she's that Italian mom, very much like Jackie Stallone.
Okay,
And when I
so
was
I'm
writing
Jackie
this, I-
Stallone now.
Well, you're Jackie,
Well,
not Jackie
producer.
Stallone, but you're that, yeah. So that's why you got that name.
Well, I'm enjoying it, and I like that there's some young students here because they're going to learn so much more than I knew at their age. I'm learning this industry in the last 2 years. They're learning it now.
What would you say is the biggest thing that you've learned being on a movie set now and seeing the way
Well,
things...
first of all, I've learned that, a team has to work as a team, which I always knew, but on a movie set, it's even more prominent. You have to be there in it with the whole team. And if you're not, guess what?
Right.
You got to go. That's the bottom line. The other thing is you have to eat, which,
Eat.
on the set, you don't stop to eat. So guess
Eating,
what?
breathing, and drinking. Yes, these
Yes.
are essential things.
So of course I always bring some extra goodies, and then you do now too. But you got to eat. Everybody's got to eat. And what comes out at the table when you're eating is such great. You really get to learn a lot about each other. Like Paul. Paul eats constantly. It doesn't matter what the food is.
It's so good.
Well, you can get actors to work for you as long as you feed them.
Feed 'em.
Yeah.
Just feed 'em.
It's very true.
But
you
I
know?
also learned about how you do a movie because I watched you, and how I never knew that you needed a screenplay to do a movie from a book. Because I have a book, so now I want a screenplay, Jerry. There you go.
Right, it's easy.
But I didn't know that, okay? Because my book, I said someday I want to make a movie about the Breakfast Club, which they made 35, 45 years ago. And my book is about the Breakfast Club of people that are old. So I learned that I can someday.
Well, you can actually get them to do it now because they're all old.
Yeah. And I learned about how much time and work it makes to make the movie right, and the scenes, and how when you don't study, which I didn't do quite a lot of, you could get in doo-doo. And I did.
Well, I think you did study a lot.
It was
but
hard
you
for me,
people-
yeah.
The difficulty of learning lines, I'm sure everybody here has their own technique to learn their lines. And I think,
I was new, so
right, and I'm sure now you've given
Oh,
that
yes.
a lot of thought.
Oh,
as
yes.
you move forward with different scenes, you'll develop
Absolutely.
your method.
And this crew back here, the casual crew, they're absolutely great kids from the day I met them, and they carried all my bags into the studio.
Yes.
So they're in for the.
Especially when you told them to.
That's right.
It's always all about you, Mama.
So
Now-
that's what I learned.
Right. Now, okay, Paul, you're a filmmaker. Tell us a little bit about what your accomplishments are and what led you here.
I was in a short film when this house it all started, and I decided that it was the simplest thing in the world to make a movie. So I wrote my own, directed my own, starred in it. Gerry happened to put it in his film festival. I'm not going to say it,
Tried to bribe me with cannolis?
and didn't win anything. And I'm still his friend. And
Because I cast him.
and then we got together one day, and Gerry actually said to me, he said, we should make a movie, the four of us. And it was Katie, Gerry, myself, and Donna Morales. And I said, I'm kind of finished with this movie stuff. I made a movie, I'm done. And then I thought about it, and I said, all right, I'll go home and write something. And I came back, and Where's the Will became a movie.
Which is fabulous. Oh, God.
And from there on,
We filmed that together in like what, two
2 days.
weekends?
2 days. No,
Like-
2 days
Oh,
after
right,
Thanksgiving.
Right after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And you've won a whole bunch of awards through festivals.
It's
and,
been in festivals and been doing
Great
great.
run.
Yeah, we've had fun.
and a few Best Actors and Actress awards.
Yes, and
gone
best
there.
ensemble and best film. So
Yeah.
we did pretty good.
Wendell.
Yes. So I've been acting for 100 years, and but just past 5 or 6 years, I got back into acting. It was on the back burner, and I did a lot of short films. And then I said, I want to write a film. So I started working on a screenplay, which ultimately turned into Daybreak, which was at the New York Long Island Film Festival.
Beautiful.
It was very well received. I'm very pleased and blessed. We're actually are working on the feature version, trying to get that done. But I met this incredible group of people at the New York Long Island Film Festival, and I felt very much at home with them. And then Gerry puts out this audition notice about the Fontanas, and so I think I emailed him separately. I said, Gerry, I'm not really Italian. I've never played an Italian, but I want to support your project. So if you have anything that you might think I'm right for, let me know. So he called me to the auditions, and he had me read for every single part. And I had not except for yours. I don't know. I described it to some friends. I don't know what happened to me in the audition. It was like I felt like I was channeling my inner Moonstruck. I don't know.
Well, it is a lot like that.
So I don't know. I just became this different person, and
Got angry.
among
good.
other things.
Yes.
And I've been very blessed and pleased that he cast me as one of the brothers, and I've had such a great time exploring this kind of character that I'm never really cast. So I'm sort of playing against type.
Then you're doing a great job.
And I get to do things.
You're a paisan.
And I get to do things I've never done before. The other day, I got to have a temper tantrum on camera. Well, I'm not allowed to do that in real life either, but
Yeah.
I was able to do it. So it's been a lot of fun doing.
I'm a big believer in hunches when it comes to casting. Like you get that feeling, you see something. And Daybreak. We saw Daybreak, and it was like we were all blown away. All the judges were like blown away. But you know when someone's an actor, and you know that they can do more than what they did in that particular role. And I mean, when we filmed that scene of the temper tantrum, filming it's one thing, but then watching the footage back afterwards in the editing room, and you're like, wow, really, very good scene.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
excellent work, Max.
Well, I guess I'm the newbie. The only experience I ever had with a camera until, with you was about 30 years ago. I tried out for the movie Dick Tracy to be the kid. They said they called back. That was 30 years ago. I'm still waiting. So. No, but it's been, I met Gerry through, we're both Star Trek fans, so, watch Star Trek, discuss Star Trek with other friends. And I've been going to his film festivals because I like movies. I like watching them. I like, analyzing them.
Talking about them to death.
Talking about them to death with you. And I've been to a couple of your web shows, in which I enjoyed very much. Even when we discuss Marvel movies, and then we're at each other's throats because we have difference of opinions on that one. But Gerry gave me this opportunity because I used to tell him, I was like, hey, if you make a movie where there's a villain, I'd like to audition as a villain because I think I'm such a nice guy and it gets kind of boring sometimes. So but just play the bad guy. But all jokes aside, then give me the opportunity to do this character who I think he is a nice guy. He's just, what would be the word? Free?
Wayward.
Your character?
Yeah.
Bad boy.
He's odd. And that was the thing, again, casting, because most people here, I think, have more experience than Max. And when you came into audition, first I was going to just audition you for a small role. You speak Italian. I said, well, we'll get you in there somehow, but something about the portrayal, and it's been a little bit of an adventure learning lines, and you're learning. I like to put that patience in if I feel somebody is hungry and really wants to do it, and you brought a certain element to that character that's very different than the three of us, and it worked. So if something works, you should be able to put the time in to get it to where it needs to be. And I know we got frustrated on set a couple of times because, you know, I would point things out to you, and it's
It's
tense.
stressful,
It's a
yeah.
very tense situation.
You want to go in the bathroom and cry.
Right. And I always tell people on set, I am never yelling. Even if you think I'm stressed out and I'm sounding like a little bit, you know, it's pressure, because even if you're on, you know, you're not in a Hollywood budget or anything like that, but you've got daylight to worry about. You're doing a scene, and it's like, so you get a little tensed. And you dealt with me. I mean, because we've known each other for a long time, which...
It's also, if I may, also my job, I teach, I have a lot of patience with, you know, with kids. And
Right.
to be honest with you, why? Because kids are learning. Well, now I'm in this environment. You guys are my teachers because you have all this experience. I'm the newbie. I just got to be quiet and listen and learn. And, you know, I think that if I would have done this 20 years ago, I think I would, because it took 20 years to learn how to listen, because I don't just teach, I also listen to what my students have to say, and that's how we reach each other. So.
Which is a key component in acting, is listening. You know, you have to be able to listen and then respond. It's not coming in, you know, necessarily prepared how you're going to say a line, but listening and then responding in kind. Let's move on to the wives now. We should have ladies first, but with the seating arrangement, you know. I say we start with your lovely wife.
Oh, my darling.
Yes. I think
Love of-
yes,
the
dear,
love
is
of
one
my
of your
life.
most, that's going to be your catchphrase.
Yes, dear?
Yeah, I'm going to hand over this one because this one.
Are you going to talk? Because we can get...
I don't know if that's within reach.
Yes.
Oh, will. Okay.
Got plenty.
All right.
Give that one to Angela.
Go ahead. So tell us what led you here?
Well, I grew up doing community theater since I was a little girl, but my first film job was I got through, my daughter was in a ballet class, and there were these two gentlemen who were always, you know, there watching their daughter, and we started talking, and they were in the show business, and they were doing a movie, and they needed someone, and they reached out to me, and they said, send us your headshot and resume. And I said, I don't have a headshot and resume. So that was the first, you know, thing that I did on film. And then I met you through community theater, and he was like, I have this idea for a film. You know, let's do it. Let's do the trailer. So I got involved with that. And then Gerry says, I have an idea. I want to do a film festival. Okay. So Gerry's, you know, brought me on the ride, and you know, film is, you know, becoming. I'm still learning myself, but I still do a lot of stage work, community theater, and things like that. So.
You stay like low key, but I'm always trying to get you to do more. And like, you know,
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
She's doing enough in this
She
movie.
does. She does quite a lot.
No, you're doing it all.
Oh, you are. She's yelling at me
She's
enough.
yelling at you to do
Well,
it.
you don't speak up.
It's because of you. You raised me.
I got to start writing this down.
But Wendell, I'm the other non-Italian in the family.
Right.
Right. So, you know, yes, my character is controlling, and
A little
Which
mean.
is kind of against you, type-wise.
right.
It was,
she's
tell us
very
about when
sweet.
you were yelling at him. She was like upset afterwards, right? It's like
I did. I said I feel all my character does is yell and be mean.
It's
I
because
didn't
was
like that.
crying.
wimp. You wimp.
So
Well,
that's me.
Angela.
Oh,
Yes, it will. Here you go. Yeah, it's got more.
Yes, I'm Nora,
Yes.
married to Frank over there. I'm complicated.
yes,
Let's
that's
just
for
say.
sure.
I also started my journey a little late in life, like Valentina, about 5 years ago. I started out doing some background work, and I went into do some background work on a feature film, and they bumped me up to a principal role, and then I just got the bug, and I've been, you know, working on the craft ever since, and doing shorts and a little NBC thing, and then I saw a casting they were looking for Italian females to work on this Fontanas, and said, well, I'm Italian, I'm female, I'm, submitting for it. So, and luckily Gerry called me in for an audition and a callback, and I've been blessed and grateful to be a part of this family, and I treasure every moment I spend with them.
she's
And
a
it's a
sweetheart.
lifetime of a friendship, I think, that we will all have. And thank
That's
you.
The
very
same
true.
way.
Yes.
be that nice to me?
Right? Well, it's interesting you say that because one of the problems, not problems, but the interesting thing when we were doing the audition was whether you could get to that level
Right.
of nastiness.
Being a real bitch.
And yeah, because, right. Because
Yeah.
everybody, I mean, a similar thread with you and Katie and your character is that, pushing it to that level because when you watch a lot of things, especially in this day and age, and everything, pushes the envelope. So you know that when you're watching it, if you don't get there, you're not going to have that footage. And it was tough for you at first.
Yes, but I like the challenge.
Yes, and-
because
and you-
that's what I want directors to do. You as bring it out of us.
Right.
Whatever you need to do because that gives us diversity. Then, otherwise, if we're always nice, like Max, you were saying, then you're not really growing. And I want to grow, and I think that was amazing.
Right.
You had me do some exercises when I was here for the callback, and to really try to get it out of me.
And to a
And I'm
degree, I look
appreciative
at
of
this
that.
cast very much like I've always been a believer, like with a show like Seinfeld or the Mary Tyler Moore Show or all these kind of shows. That central character, a lot of times, was the least interesting in a lot of ways. And I look at Freddie in that way. Like I've surrounded myself with all these interesting characters, and the more you bring it to that level, the more I think this story unfolds. And of course, that brings to my next character, who I don't think has a hard time bringing it to that nasty level because she jumped right in as my ex-wife. And Katrina,
Hi.
hi.
I'm Katharina Michio. I've been around for a while. I guess I've been in Screen Actors Guild since like 2000. And I did, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but I did a little show called The Sopranos. And I was I was like one of the original Bada Bing bartenders. Woohoo. Huh? Did I like it? Yeah, it was great. It was fun. No, I loved working on the show. I met amazing people. And then about 4 years ago, no, wait, it was like 5 years ago, my life kind of turned around. After I had breast cancer, I decided all I want to do is act. So I wrote a script, and it's called St. Joseph, and it won won about 25 awards or something silly, I don't know. And then I just stopped submitting it. I'm like, no, this isn't fair to other people. I have to stop, put the brakes on. So that was really amazing, and it really pushed me more to want to work more. And I also have film festivals.
Right. 2, correct?
I have 3.
3 now.
Well, I've had 3. One is in Italy, so not.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's the one I
Let's all go to that one.
So one's in New York, one's in New Jersey, and one is in Italy. And so yeah, I saw we never met each other.
No, we've been
We were
friends on
just-
Facebook
we
for a
were
long
friends
time.
Yes. And then I saw the casting, and I'm like, wait a minute, I am Italian.
Right.
And I've played these parts. I think I could do this. So
And we have a killer scene together. I'm not going to tell you about it, but
Oh, please, it's not.
Valentina
Let me
was
tell you.
Mama, don't have a heart
Easy.
attack.
All I can tell you is it happened in my house.
and it was a lot of fun to do.
It was. My neighbors, all senior citizens, were out on the lawn. They're figuring out what's going on in there.
they were hearing
I
sounds
think-
coming out of that house.
I think the
I don't
crew
know.
had a good time with it too.
Yes.
It was what a great scene.
Yes.
Aaron, I think Aaron got the most out of it.
And we have to film it in front of you know, how old are you
People.
guys?
Yeah, kids.
They're old enough. They're old enough.
Not really. Not really.
Yeah, but that's what just like, made us bring it on more because I loved the reaction from you guys.
Yes.
So
Let me tell you,
you
these
were our
kids are
audience.
they're not as innocent as they look. They have a lot to
Yeah.
say.
They knew how to set the
The
mood lighting and
rehearsal,
everything.
they were hysterical. So we were like, all right, I guess that works. Let's do it more.
Right. Now, we produced a lovely daughter, too, who's not here. Julia.
Right.
Yeah, she's not able to be here. But
She'll be back.
she'll be back.
I want to meet my daughter.
Right. You have to meet your daughter.
Very dead lady. You don't need to know.
Yeah, well. That, and,
My
that,
daughter.
and now we'll pass this on to your
Beauty.
daughter,
Look at
yes.
this beautiful girl. I mean, really.
Laura,
Gorgeous.
also known as Jessica.
Hi, I'm Laura. I play Jessica. So we met recently doing a film. It was my first or second day coming into the show. And I'm doing this very intense scene in an office building. I'm yelling at my fiance, practically kicking him out of the office building. And Gerry comes up to me and he's like, "Are you Italian?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, I have this film right now that I'm casting, and I think you'd be great as a part." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, would love for that. That'd be fantastic." So I came here and I worked with everybody, and they're absolutely great to work with. And yeah, I went to, this has just been my passion, acting, since I pretty much came into this world. I always have been performing. You could find me in a shopping mall, just in the corner, dancing and singing, and people were like, "What is this kid doing over here?" "Oh, she's just performing randomly." So.
And you had a hysterical scene in the film that was improv.
Oh my gosh,
When we-
that was so funny.
It was, yeah, not in the script.
Very
We
good
put it in.
time.
It's like, that's
Not
got to
gonna
be in
spoil
there.
anything, but so.
Yeah. Well,
We got our favorite here, my grandson.
Yeah, I like that. All right. Hey. So my name is Joe, and I play Anthony, the son of I forget your character's name.
Dad.
And mom, Nora, Frank. Nora and Frank, is that it? Yeah. Well, and I've had the acting bug for as long as I can remember, ever since I was really little, and I've done a lot of community theater, and I've also made some short films when I was in college. I went to Five Towns College.
You just graduated, right?
Yeah, I did, and one of my films was in your festival about a year ago. And that's how we first met. And when I heard that you posted a casting call for the Fontanas, I applied to it, and I went to the auditions. I honestly didn't think I was going to get it, to be honest.
Well, you became annoying enough that you did get it.
That's only because my character's supposed to be annoying.
That's what I'm saying. So you did the right thing.
You have the most subtle sense of humor, I think, of anybody in the cast.
Thanks.
Yes.
It's that voice. Because
That-
you go on and on with that little annoying voice, and
Yeah.
that's what
It's
the
like someone else.
yes, but that's what the part called for. So it was great.
It skips a generation.
Yeah.
Oh, none of us have that.
No.
So. So do we have a new little guy?
We
huh?
do.
Can I say one thing before?
Make it good.
So I have a connection with Katharina. Daybreak was also in one of her film festivals, The Cutting Room, and it won awards there as well. And I am looking forward to, Katharina and I have a scene later on in one of the episodes that
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to. So.
Frank, I'm standing. I'm sitting Really?
Hey,
Good looking
you-
brother, and I'm getting nothing. I don't understand it.
you're doing your own wrongdoings, too, so,
Well, it's not happening in my house.
that you know of.
Well, I
Who
don't
do
know.
I give this to?
What?
Too much.
Who do I give this to?
Yes. Matthew.
I'm gonna snap my arm.
Now, the toughest part of casting something like this is finding young actors. Us old guys, we're a dime a dozen, right? We're everywhere. But trying to find young people that can act and learn their lines. And Matthew came in, spoke to, I guess through, right, you introduced me to,
I shared your post that you were looking for a youngster,
right,
and his mom,
right.
Daniela, reached out and said,
Absolutely.
And he comes in, he reads for the part.
Look at
He-
this beautiful boy.
I'm honored to have that be the young version of me. I mean,
I can't believe what he grew
I
into.
was cute, but I don't know if I was that cute. And he comes in, he nails all the lines.
Whoa.
Like, he stopped at one point, like, can I do it again? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I just worked with a bunch of adults who put me through
Hell.
hell, exactly. Yes, take all the time you want. So, tell us about your experience as an actor now.
So I think it's really fun being an actor. I have a lot of fun, and it's fun having fun with a lot of the people that work with me. So
Now, when you were in the pizzeria and you put the cape on, did you feel like a superhero at that moment, or?
yes, yes,
Yep. You want to do it again?
yes,
But,
Good.
but was the pizza good? That's the question.
very good.
Very good. And with that, we can segue right into a big shout out to our friends over at Spazzo's Pizza in Lindenhurst. When I started writing this, I went to our friend over there. You and I, we met Joe. And we stopped over. I said, listen, I'm writing this thing. I want to film it. He goes, yeah, sure. Whenever you're ready, come in and film here. And it's that pizzeria. It's on Long Island, but it has a throwback look to like a Brooklyn pizza shop. And that's the family business. And he was more than willing to let us do it. And we went in to film. He just opened up the door and said, here, turned on the oven, said, make pizza if you want. And thanks again, Joe. Spazzo's Pizza, check it out. Best pizza on Long Island, the only place I'll go. And now we've got the crew,
Yep.
the casual
The
crew.
casual crew, those little boys.
You want to, Matthew, can you hand that mic over to them?
Let's go. We'll give it to the director.
To Ryan.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hi. My name is Ryan. I'm the kind of wacky ringleader of my crew, who I love so dearly. I'm trying to think of like what is considered the start of like, because I've done community theater since I was such a little boy, and I've known Gerry and Katie for I don't know how far too long. Yeah, I've known them since I was such a little guy, and kind of just kept doing that, community theater life for a while, and then once I got into like later on in high school, me, Aaron, and his brother James, who isn't here, decided to kind of maybe get into filming as a different outlet of different creative outlet. And I've been to Gerry's festivals before, so I was very inspired. Just the whole world of independent film. So, kind of the summer of COVID, we had nothing else to do,
Okay,
So-
Gerry, so you
so-
were an afterthought.
So it was a way to make use of our time and create and
And talent.
create some art. And so we did a little short thing that we resent. And then no one speaks of that short film. It doesn't exist. And went into the film festival, met so many other people that were doing it, and just like local people, and we're like, oh, this is like this is really really cool. So then that next year we kind of went at it again, bigger and better. Using whatever we had, with the friends that we had, and created a much longer short film. And then through that made so many more connections, which then right now we are just about finished with the sequel to that movie. And through James and Aaron, I met Dom, who we've become very, very good friends, co-writers for our films, and just more and more kind of grown and worked with other people on different projects. And so I was very excited to hear when Gerry reached out that he needed a crew, because it's a very like proud thing to know that like we're somebody who people want to, you know, reach out to and ask to, you know, help, and to be able to have a way to give, you know, me and my friends, you know, work, you know, and,
Right.
and an opportunity to gain knowledge and to, you know, hone in on the craft that is, you know, because I'm very much a big believer on learning by doing.
Right.
So,
Hands-on,
you know,
yeah.
getting these experiences is
It's like
amazing.
So many filmmakers will say, "Don't go to film school," because you just throw yourself in. You learn the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
And then what? One little short film that you say you regret. That scene at the end when you're throwing the baseball, and the way you filmed that. I don't even know what you filmed it with, what kind of equipment you had, but the way you circled around and caught that action, I was like, that's really good. Like the skills that you brought to the vision worked, and you probably had no right knowing that at that point. You just tried something.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yep.
And I think for me that was the moment where I said, wow, these kids, like, they're doing something and they're doing it well even without knowing what they're doing. And then when you did your second one, which you say came out of sitting around not having anything to do, but I think many great ideas and creations have come out of boredom. So, and you're going to beat yourself up with every single film. I know I do.
Of
Ron
course.
Howard said every film will break your heart a little bit. George Lucas is still tweaking Star Wars.
Oh, he's
So-
killing the movie. He's killing it.
Right. I mean, no one's ever going to be completely satisfied with anything they do. But the way you guys have come so far, and now I'm going to them going, hey, how'd you do this? Show me, like, where'd you learn that? And you're teaching us, which is great. And you're in school for it, right? So you're all...
Those two guys are. Yeah.
Now, Dom, tell us a little bit about your end of this.
Wait till you hear this voice.
Yes, this is the most interesting.
What's up?
Every clip starts off with rolling. Rolling. I must have heard it 1,000 times in the editing room.
Yeah, it's the voice of your nightmares, I bet.
Tom's gonna sing the theme song for the Fontanas.
I will. Be like Lowrider or something. But I kind of just showed up and
That's important.
started helping.
90% of success is showing up, they say.
For me, it started before all of this. I met all these awesome people. It was back in high school. I took some video classes, learned, you know. Then I was like, hey, I really like this, so I'll go to school for it. And I really started to appreciate movies and film much more. So I went to school for it. I knew Aaron for a while, and then I met Ryan through him. And then they made a movie, and I was like, what the hell? I like movies too, so I'll make a movie with them. So made the movie with them, and as you've heard before, it just kind of went on and on and on. More people, more projects, and now.
Right, and
we're
you have
here.
more in your crew, right, that work with you sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes there's too many to count. Like,
Right.
there's this guy over here. Oh, he acts. Okay, we'll get this guy. Oh, this guy, he's good with the mic. You know, we'll get that guy. And then sometimes they come back. Sometimes they don't.
They disappear.
It's like very casual. You know, that's we got to represent the casual.
Perfect
crew.
name.
But
Yeah.
our people that watch, you should know that if you need any help or work, these gentlemen are up to the task. And
Absolutely.
they do good work. You could call me and Gerry, and we'll get you right to them, and they're looking for the
If
work.
you want to donate to their cause, because they're always looking to upgrade their
Yes.
equipment and lenses, and this is an expensive game. So,
Definitely.
yeah.
We're really appreciative of that, and also because Valentina, we were on the show before, back
Yeah.
in December.
Well, Gregg had a lot to do with that, and
Yeah.
Gregg, he also contributed to your movie.
You did, and then we also got the film here as well for it.
Exactly.
This nightclub's in so many movies, it's gonna be one of those landmarks
Woo!
that people go to see, and it's gonna be great.
And that assistance, that community help is so important. I mean, we're all independent filmmakers at this point, although the Fontanas is going to put us all to a different level.
Absolutely.
But having people that like the pizza place, like our cast members. I mean, Angela opened up her home. We filmed. I mean, those scenes are fantastic in that house, but the house also was the perfect setting.
Absolutely.
So that helps. And then the casual crew filmed there as well.
Well, we
So-
almost had an old man in the film because he was my neighbor.
That's
And
right.
Yeah.
He walked in on a scene, and they said, "We'll put him in."
He turned us down cold.
He said,
He did turn us down.
He said,
No.
"I don't want to do it."
No, it was the scene with
Filthy
Max
animal.
and his girls.
We
there.
didn't even know his
He
name.
didn't want to
So
do it.
it would have been a funny scene, but
We started calling him Frank.
We named him Frank.
We just called him Frank.
Frank, we want you.
And then all the seniors are like, "What's going on here?" And one of the girls who was acting as a prostitute said, "We're doing a wedding. We're doing a wedding here, and we're having a test wedding." Oh, okay. So they all put their chairs in my backyard, and they're like watching. They're waiting for the bride to come out.
Right. She wasn't a prostitute. She was just a
Well-
fun girl.
Okay, well, whatever. You know,
Woody's not paying. Yeah. They pay
he's the
Woody.
bad one.
They pay Woody. So now Aaron.
Save the best for last.
And Aaron is like the king of handheld and
The best perspective you will get on the scene we're talking about.
Thank you for that. I'm the guy that you could call if your filmer backs out on you. So if you need anybody to film your movie, call me up.
He's great.
Any
Any-
angle.
Oh yes.
Or if you accidentally delete things from your SD card.
Ooh, you had to go there. That
you
was
need-
Guide to help
If you need any random extra knowledge, also call me.
quick story. We film all morning at the pizzeria. And then the second part of the day, we're filming at Angela's house. And the memory card runs out. And I'm like, I got this. I go over and I'm going to delete the footage.
No, you.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to delete the extra footage from previous days. Only I accidentally highlight everything and I delete all the stuff that we filmed in the morning at the pizzeria. The instant feeling of nausea that overtakes you as you're trying to tell yourself, I know that if the FBI wanted these files, they'd get them back. The question is how.
Magic.
Well, we did it. It took a couple hours of painstaking, agonizing, watching the little things sliding across, saying it's uploading this footage, but you don't know if it's actually going to be there. And it was there. It cost a few bucks, but it was,
Nice shiny
Yeah.
coin.
yeah, maybe. And if that's fine, that's what's, yeah. But yeah, and then, these guys, we're filming in the house. It's like, we want this shot from an angle. They're sliding across the floor. It's like, I'll hold the
Anything.
camera. You grab my feet. I'll pull you. They'll try anything. And the other thing with them, I got to say this. A lot of people, no matter how committed you are to this, the days get long and they get grueling. And, like I said, we're all in this for the love and the passion of it. But every single time that we would have a shot and I'd go, we did 6, 7 takes of this, like, I'd like to get that other angle. They're like, let's do it. Instantly, not even
There's
like
no
a
lazy
thought,
people
just
here.
set it up and let's do it. And, yeah.
I want to give Gerry some kudos, okay?
Aw.
Because I am a writer as well, and I read a lot of scripts, and comedy is not easy to write, but you are a brilliant writer. Wow. Brilliant.
First of all, this
And-
is not a comedy.
It's kind of.
If it's not a comedy, why would you be in
It's
it?
a dramedy, all right. Whatever. And I absolutely love the script. It's totally in my wheelhouse because St. Joseph, right?
Right.
And I just had to say that because
Well, thank you.
it's it's not just one of the run of the mill scripts. And I really believe in this series, and I think it's really going to go far.
Thank you.
Everybody should just watch
Yes.
it.
When it comes out, everybody should watch.
We're gonna
And
all
between
be there
that
at the
and
film
of course, this
festival, right?
amazing cast, which is
Yes.
perfect.
Absolutely.
And we have to get you, because your character comes in
I come in
slowly.
Yeah, slowly.
But
Dream
we'll-
sequences, flashbacks.
Yes.
Until I get into the
Until we get into the meat and
episode
potatoes of it.
2.
But
And then
thank
we
you. I
get into the
appreciate
meat
that.
and potatoes
Yes.
of my character.
This is true. But I want to tell you that we have a lot of people watching. Linda Labriola, Elisa Tom, Maria Antonella, Linda says you guys are great. Paul Lotacano, well, he's sitting right here. Susan. Jim Altamori, the Sinatra guy, he says you got a packed house today. Good luck. Lucia Love, she's in the cast.
Yes.
Stacy Williams, she just walked in the door. And Gina Iaboni DeSalvio, she wants in. She
Italians.
wants in. She's Italian. You know, just things are just going well. And you never know, Gina. She met my husband that night when we were here filming. You know, my husband.
Your husband. I was
Yeah.
going to say, okay.
My
Yeah,
husband that's in the show. So
Right.
she met him. She kind of liked him. And yes, she did. Connie Erin from Pittsburgh. My sister is watching. Joe DeSalvo was watching. Teresa Capitelli. And people are saying that they're having a hard time hearing, but I don't know if they are. Frank Murata. He's the gentleman that just gave me a script for you. He's
Oh.
watching. That's how much he wants to meet you. Okay?
Hi, Frank.
Antonella Nicoletti Antonacci. That's an Italian. Okay. Okay. And we got more. I mean, I could go on. Kathy Bertolino Williams. A lot of Italians are watching, but also we want everybody to watch. And we're going to be shooting this all over the place tonight. And that's a lot of people
Yeah.
that watched in, which is really nice to have.
Yep.
So
You
thank
have a
you
nice
for
audience.
watching. Like and share it when you when we finish, all right?
And we have one more person to mention in the cast who couldn't be here, which is our good friend over at South Shore Theater.
Oh, yes, she's a doll.
Yes.
What's her name? I forgot.
Debbie.
Debbie!
We love her.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, because Debbie's so busy, I only see her for minutes at a time. And, we did another
she-
movie with her, and I was
Well,
in
she
it.
also helps us out with the film festival at South Shore Theater. Check out South Shore Theater. It's a black box theater in Lindenhurst, Wellwood Avenue. I mean, we've been working with them for a long time, and they also open their doors to us to do the film festival, which we do at the Lindenhurst Moose Lodge, but we've also expanded into the theater, so we have the two locations going, which is nice. And Debbie was a late addition to the cast because in the pizzeria, which we kind of envision like that place where they hang out in Seinfeld, you know, the diner. And the pizzeria now is going to take on that type of
Oh,
a
that's-
character,
I
and,
like
and
that.
I realized we needed someone in there to sort of counteract the mother's
I get a lot of abuse.
inadequacies, we'll say.
Inadequacies.
And-
I'm getting
and- and-
abused.
It's a nice way of saying it.
Yes.
They don't
and-
like me.
And Debbie's character sort of sets that tone
Yeah.
to straighten out the boys a little bit, and
Yeah.
it's a great addition, and she does a great job with it. So
Well, it's
Debbie?
great. And I also wanted to say that Tranquility Spa is sponsoring us today. They're at Franklin Avenue, 700, Franklin Square, and they just opened a gorgeous spot in Levittown next to Calder's Pizzeria. You got to go. There's 3 brand new salt caves. Tell them the Breakfast Club sent you. The prices are 1/3 of the North Shore. Aura Puro Jewelers, Teddy, who always gives us great jewelry to wear. This beautiful pin I got from him. And he's in Hempstead Turnpike, Franklin Square. And, of course, the Prince of Taxes, Jackson Hewitt. And can't forget, today is Bob D'Amato's birthday.
that's right. I saw that on Facebook.
Happy birthday, Bob. I thought maybe you might stop by today, but we'll see you. I'm sure we'll see you one of these days next week. You'll come on the show. And Gregg, hope you're watching. Sorry you don't feel good, but you better get better because tomorrow, Gregg is going to be the maitre d' at the Opera House in a church in Douglaston, and he's going to be doing all of the intros for the opera
Wow.
tomorrow night. So better drink a lot of soup tonight, Gregg, because you agreed and we're going tomorrow night. So it's kind of exciting. They came on the
Yeah.
show and they want to bring Long Island Opera back to Long Island. So they called me. I don't know why. I don't know opera. I don't know how to sing
Not going
opera.
to sing some opera for us
No.
right now?
But we got together and I may do a little private work with them. And we're going to the first show, and it's at a church. And
Terrific.
their goal is to be like they used to be before pandemic, huge. So
Right.
I might get a little gig out of it, and but I will not be singing opera.
Rock
Now-
and roll.
Question: is this the most people you've had on your show?
At once, well, no, my birthdays are big,
Right.
which is
well,
coming up
but
August
that's
8th.
a special occasion.
August 8th, they're all invited here at 12. We're having the 250th show and my birthday.
What day?
Wow.
It's a Monday.
250 shows.
Could you believe it? I can't. I really can.
Yeah, it's terrific.
And the birthday shows and the 200 shows, you know, are big.
Yeah.
And hopefully our reporter's going to come back for that show. We have a great reporter here watching us. It's exciting, isn't it, Joe?
Yes, it is.
Remember I told you?
Well, we
I
spoke
don't
today.
disappoint?
You don't. That's true. Sometimes your texts are a little chaotic and
That's
difficult
true.
to read.
That's true. Everybody
You
tells
have your
me
own
that.
language.
Yes. And
But-
everyone knows that.
If you take a minute, you can figure it out. You just got to fill in some of
My
the
daughter
vowels
would
and
love
the missing
that.
consonants.
Yeah.
And yeah.
My daughter tells me that all the time. So on that note, why don't you finish up?
Well, have we missed anything? Have we anything we haven't covered? I mean, we do have other.
My little pet show.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes. Plug away.
I want to plug my a show that I'm hosting right now. It's called All Paws Pet Talk, and we have a panel of experts, and they're holistic vets
Oh,
and it's animal communicators, and it's very, very informative. I mean, everybody has a pet that I know of, and I already used a method that I saw on there. Someone came on, a guest came on that did the Heimlich maneuver for your pets. I didn't know how to do that. I've had pets all my life. Do you know 2 days later I had to give my dog the Heimlich because she chewed something and foam was coming out of her mouth and she was choking.
Right.
So I put my fist in and then bloop, and yeah, I won't go into all that, but it worked. It's very, very, it's going to be a really informative show. We have Ed Begley Jr., we have lots of celebrity, personalities coming on too. It's on KP Media and then also Roku and Amazon Fire, a lot of shows.
That's
But then you'll
terrific.
also see it on YouTube too.
Well, that's
So,
great. Good luck
yeah,
with it.
yeah. I
And,
think it's
switch it over to ours and we'll share it for you.
yes. I will.
Yes.
Perfect.
Definitely. And Patricia Marie Bellissima is watching, another Italiano.
Yes.
And she's saying, great show. She loves it. And she's coming
Thank you.
on August 9th to the party. So you guys
Now-
have to come. It's a great party.
As long as we're plugging, of course, I have to plug the New York Long Island Film Festival.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's the place where it all happens. We are expanding again. We're going to be October 20th, 21st, and 22nd, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We have more films this year than ever before, and we have a lot of exciting things coming up. But we're still open for submissions until August 31st. If you go to www.filmfreeway.com/Nyliff, that's Nyliff. What can I say? This is an amazing thing. When you have something in your head, and it's just a little thought, and then it turns into this. It's the most amazing part of this whole process. Whether it's a song, a film, a book,
Right. I mean,
it all
it's
starts
right.
with just a single thought.
It
And
does.
I always look at things like a building, and you look at this and go, every screw, every nail was put in one at a time. And if it's like that expression, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Really?
It's
I
yeah.
never heard of that.
You never heard that one? Yeah. How do you eat an
I
elephant?
never want to eat an elephant.
One bite at a time. So, yeah, no matter what it is, no matter what you're trying to tackle, if you take it just one step at a time, you can accomplish anything. And having people like this group involved makes it not only possible, but fun. And love you guys, all of you.
And I want to say is, meeting you, which it all starts with networking,
Right.
and the club, and how everybody helps everybody. And I mean, I'm trying to remember how I did meet you. Do you remember? Because it's a long time.
Wow,
Must have
that's
been
a
at an
good question.
Elvis show.
Dark and stormy night.
I
don't
really
know if we
can't
can talk
remember
about that right
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how we met, but maybe at an Elvis show, maybe, or maybe I don't know. I have to think about it because it'll bother me that I can't remember.
Yeah, and I
how
think
met.
we asked this question once when I was on the show in the past.
Yeah, I'm trying
And
to
we didn't come
remember.
up with the
Yeah.
answer.
I'll have to really think about it. But every day, everyone out there, get up, get dressed, show up. It doesn't matter where. Because that's how you're going to meet people, and that's how you're going to grow. And that's how I wrote my book. And that's how now everyone in my book wrote their own book. So
Right.
when you do something out of your comfort zone, shit happens. And it's good.
Yep.
And really,
keep
do it,
moving
guys.
forward.
Do it because it's going to change your life.
Yep.
And on that note, guys, it's a wrap.